in favor of death penalty, both for a matter of principle and for practical reasons. As a matter of principle, I think that the death penalty significantly challenges the concept of rule of law, according to which law is the same for everybody. So if an act is considered criminal when committed by individuals, then it should not be legitimized when committed by state actors. But most importantly, I'm against death penalty for practical reasons. First of all, there's no evidence that death penalty deters crime more than imprisonment. Secondly, mistakes in judgment happens, but once an individual has been executed, there is no way to re-examine the case. And in this regard, Amnesty International reminds us that since 1975, 100 prisoners in the US have been sent to death row and then have been later exempted by execution, while others have been executed despite reasonable doubts about their guilt. And thirdly, let's consider the concrete circumstances in which death penalty take place. Most countries where death penalty still exists have weak criminal justice systems, where unfair trials are sometimes coupled with torture to extort confessions. Death penalty is largely discriminatory, as in most cases it is applied to people coming from vulnerable or minority groups, and sometimes is practiced for political reasons. And finally, let's consider that in many countries where death penalty exists, death penalty applies also to juveniles. Over the last 25 years, 91 juveniles have been executed around the world, and this challenges the notion of criminal responsibility. Now we know that the international community has been increasingly paying attention to these values and principles. Since 1975, 101 countries have abolished death penalty, resulting in the current situation where 140 countries around the world are free from capital punishment. In our region, we can observe that Philippines and Cambodia have abolished death penalty by law, and Myanmar and Laos have abolished death penalty in practice, and I'm very glad to see that Thailand is following the same path. Between 2012 and 2014, 211 persons have been sentenced to death penalty in Thailand, but no one has been executed. So I really hope that this progressive abolition of death penalty in practice will be reflected soon in a revised criminal code.